first off, where is Nancy Stuber?
Right here. She's right there.
Are you speaking? Okay. I just wanted to make sure. We have a long list of speakers today, and so I'm going to be short, as all the other speakers will be short. First off, welcome to the campus of the nation's best science industry museum, and thank you, Nancy, for your hospitality today. My name's Sam Adams, and I have the great pleasure of serving with Portland City Council that in the last 4 years has done more in some of the toughest times of the nation and city since the Great Depression. And I'd like to ask that my colleagues please stand up so that we can thank them. Commissioner Dan Saltzman, Commissioner Amanda Fritz, Commissioner Nick Fish. Hardworking folks in difficult times that have produced some amazing results. 64 years, 1 month, 21 days, and 10 hours. 64 years, 1 month, 21 days, and 10 hours was the last time a streetcar in the city of Portland crossed the Broadway Bridge. Until today, officially. Congressman Earl Blumenauer was born 2 weeks later. And he has a story to tell, because this wasn't the last running of the streetcar, that was the last operations of a streetcar over the Broadway line. Today we are almost doubling the trackage of Portland streetcar, and this is, I believe, my 5th streetcar extension. We set a goal as part of our planning to have about 1,000 units of housing built or permitted just on the east side extension by the end of the first 5 years of the streetcar. So 1,000 housing units we wanted to have built or permitted underway within the first 5 years. We've already exceeded that, and we're just opening today. If you work for the Portland Bureau of Transportation, could you please raise your arms, your hands? There you go. Thank you, Tom Miller, Director of the Portland Bureau of Transportation, Paul Smith, Planning Director, and I saw Sue Keel here, the former Director. If you work for the Portland Development Commission, raise your hand. They are key in our efforts on redevelopment. I saw Director Patrick Quinton here. The first person I'd like to introduce is Mr. Streetcar himself. He was instrumental in making sure that the first line of the streetcar was in the plans for the city, and then went on to Congress and made sure that we had the resources when we needed them, where we needed them, to begin the renaissance of the modern American streetcar here in the United States. You know him, we love him, Congressman Earl Blumenauer.
Thanks, Sam. And thanks for not blowing my little story, because over 50 years ago, my grandmother took me on the last run from Oregon City to this side of the river. It didn't go across the river because the city in its wisdom didn't want to have the streetcar interfere with traffic. And she told me I would always remember it, and she's right. I'm only sorry that my first grandchild couldn't come with me today, but he was born 10 days ago, and my daughter thought, no, not going to turn him loose on that. But he'll be able to know some of what we have accomplished here today and living in Portland to benefit from it. I woke up this morning to the front page of the paper, Streetcar Without Desire, and I looked at that and I remembered an episode that I experienced years ago. I was responsible for helping start the opening of the first MAX line. A gubernatorial campaign at that time lobbied me furiously to delay the opening of the streetcar until after the election. because they were convinced that it was going to be so negative that the unnamed candidate would lose. Well, we've had examples in the past where people were concerned about that crazy bicycle agenda, streetcars, light rail, the tram. The key is that we have done this purposefully. We planned a community not for next year or 5 years. We laid plans for a generation and a generation to come. Streetcar tracks are there for 50 years. They will incent the behavior we are already seeing. I biked the streetcar line this morning. I was blown away watching the first car come over the Broadway Bridge. But looking at block after block after block, where things are happening in the Central East Side, an area where people felt, rightly so, that the city hadn't invested heavily enough. And I am pleased that we worked with the city to be able to put a little money into that couplet, taking out the worst intersection in the city and looking at what's happening on Burnside and Cooch. Look at the businesses that are reinvesting. Look at the street light. You're going to have to take the streetcar or bike because you can't park in the Central East Side on the weekends. And that's just the start. What is most important, however, with all due respect to the elected leadership, has been the commitment from citizens. Citizens who were part of that streetcar vision and accepted temporary assignments, and luckily he'll still talk to me after they're still stuck more than 20 years in. And it's the people in the Central East Side, the businesses, the families, the Parkers, the Powells, Stark, little Wentworth Chevrolet, families who've been here for generations, who didn't give up on the Central East Side, who kept people's feet to the flames, and they've helped bring about a renaissance. And it's that people power that's going to make the streetcar a success, the communities thrive, and Portland to continue to be a model for people across the country. Thank you very much.
Our next speaker has helped us at the state legislature. She has recently gotten a job promotion and she has hit the ground running, and I mean running. You will see her everywhere, and we are being served just in an enthusiastic and smart manner, and we're very glad to have her here. Please join me in welcoming Congresswoman Suzanne Bonamici.
Thank you so much, Mayor. What a great day for Portland and a great day for Oregon. And I'm so honored to be here over in Congressman Blumenauer's office, or district. You know, you might think that he's a leader for transportation in Portland and in Oregon. He's a leader for transportation in this whole country. When people in Washington, D.C. have a question about sustainability or transportation, they call Earl Blumenauer. So we are so fortunate to have him here, to have him representing this district and this state, and I'm really fortunate to serve with him. So thank you, Earl. It's exciting to think about what Earl's new grandchild might be saying someday about Portland and about transportation. So this is a great day for Portland and for our state. It's truly exciting to have this next loop of the streetcar opening today. We know about all the benefits: keeping cars off the road, connecting our communities, providing multimodal transportation for those who want to be around this great community. But there are also benefits to the job creation that come from this project, from the construction of the loop, but also the construction of the streetcars made right here in Oregon by United Streetcars. So we all talk about the importance of making things in America. We're making things right here in Oregon, and that's a part of this as well. There's a lot to celebrate. Thank you all for being here for this great day. We're going to be celebrating the health benefits, the environmental benefits, and connecting our communities. So it's an honor to be here. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the Streetcar Loop. Thank you, Mayor.
A supporter of smart transportation and a strong advocate for jobs, our next speaker hails from the great city of Hillsborough. He now serves us as the only elected president of a regional government in the United States. Welcome, Tom Hughes.
Well, thank you, Mayor Adams, and I don't have to try to be short because I'm always short. But I do have about 4 reasons why I'm really excited to be here today. One of which is that I happen to be in charge of the agency that does the master planning, transportation planning for the whole region. And layering on another layer of transportation, the streetcars, has proven to be an exciting way to expand our overall transportation system in a multimodal way that doesn't add traffic, doesn't put cars on our overburdened surface transportation system. And this has been a great innovation. As a candidate who ran a couple of years ago on a jobs platform, I'm excited about what this means for United Streetcar, a Clackamas County company that has now become, has the potential to become a world leader in streetcar manufacturing. I assume that's a form of Portland creep that the folks in Clackamas County will accept. Thirdly, I'm excited because my agency runs the convention center, and the potential of connecting this facility, which has huge tourist potential, is a great attractor and has been forever, with the convention center and the folks who will be coming to visit at our convention center, adds one more notch in our ability to attract those conventions. And when we get the hotel over there, the folks at that hotel will be able to take advantage of that too. And fourthly is kind of, well, it is kind of selfish of me, but I currently work in a place that is a virtual food desert. It's a long walk to anywhere for lunch. So now the streetcar will connect me with some of the best food in the region, and I'll be able to hop on and come down into this area and enjoy the great restaurants that are down here. So for all of those reasons, I'm excited that this day has finally come. Sitting in traffic some days heading to my office, I wondered if it ever would, and now I'm excited that it's here, and I'm looking forward to riding the streetcar. Thank you very much.
Every single person up here and a lot more in the audience had to take an active, aggressive, an assertive, and persistent role in making this happen. And it also includes our partners in the federal government. We are in Region 10 of the Federal Transit Administration, and we have a great leader and a great advocate in the role as administrator who understands that smart transportation, smart planning requires smart investments. And please join me in welcoming that fantastic leader, Rick Crochellis.
Well, good morning and congratulations to Mayor Adams, Portland Streetcar, Orrin Ironworks, TriMet, and the citizens of Portland. I especially want to thank Congressman Earl Blumenauer and Congresswoman Bonamici for supporting President Obama's commitment to invest in transportation infrastructure this country needs and deserves to grow our economy and compete. I'm very excited to be here, and I've watched this for a long time, to celebrate Portland's continued leadership, demonstrating the power of public transportation. I believe we've reached a very critical stage in our country, reintroducing the modern urban streetcar to the American landscape. And we can look to the Portland streetcar as transformational. If you will, you have blazed a new Oregon Trail for the 21st century. Because of your patience and demonstrated results, FTA has clearly stepped away from our past practices to now fund streetcars and bus circulator projects once we get the appropriations from Congress. Now, look how far we've come. Since 2010, U.S. Department of Transportation has made available nearly $400 million, thanks to Congress, in federal funding for 13 streetcars and circulator projects across the country. Of streetcars. Not just Portland, but New Orleans and Tucson are under construction. Dallas, Cincinnati, Atlanta, Salt Lake City, Charlotte, St. Louis, Tampa. So look at what you've done. You've led the way. Fort Lauderdale. Now, no great American city can afford to stand still, which is why it's so gratifying to share in Portland's vision for a connected, sustainable future. And if you think about it, that's what Portland as a whole is doing for the nation, setting the pace for thoughtful, connected transportation choices that attract businesses and workers and build a stronger city. Thank you and congratulations.
Our next speaker has the third or fourth hardest job in the city and one of the hardest jobs in the region. He has been part of the team that helped build this extension of the streetcar line, the extension of the light rail lines that you see, the bridge coming out of the water over the river. He works tirelessly to make the best out of limited and constrained resources. Please join me in welcoming and thanking TriMet General Manager Neil McFarland.
Thank you very much, Mayor Adams, and thank you all for being here. This is a great day for public transit in Portland, Oregon, a great day for the Portland streetcar. You know, one of the things that I like to talk about related to our projects here is the power of partnerships. And again, this project, more than almost any other, shows again that power of bringing people together, bringing communities together to do great things. And we have more on the way. Rising behind you, as the mayor noted, is a new bridge coming out of the Willamette River. And we know we have a little bit more work to do with our partnership to make sure that when that bridge opens with light rail, buses, bikes, and pedestrians in 2015, that it also carries streetcars. And we actually close the loop to create the full Central City circulator around and tie together what now has become known as that innovation quadrant around this east and west side. I wanted to just very quickly take a few moments to recognize the hard work again of our partners at the FTA. Rick Krachalis has led this office, but an enormous amount of work goes into the preparation of this opening, and I want to thank them for that work. Obviously, Oregon's congressional delegation, our Congress people who are here today are steadfast in their support of funding our regional transit system. Our state legislature for the production vehicles, TriMet employees in particular. There'll be 50 TriMet employees assigned to the streetcar line, and I want to particularly thank them because their work is just beginning in terms of the new line. And finally, I want to thank our friends at Stacy and Whitbeck, our contractor on this project, who once again have done a terrific job in bringing a project on time and on budget. And most importantly, I want to thank you all for being here and supporting this effort. It makes a great city when we see all of us together in this sort of celebration. So thank you all very much.
I'm gonna insert her into the program because we've all taken political risks and to a degree financial risks to invest in smart transportation that has led up to today. But she and her company have taken the private risk to make sure that this isn't just a great new expansion of a single streetcar line in the city of Portland, but it's a brand new industry for the entire United States. Making modern American streetcars are happening here, just over the line in Clackamas County, and the city of Portland does extend into Clackamas County with 400 homes. For now. That was Dan Saltzman's line. That's a good one. That's a joke. Takes a whole village to be an MC. He gives me bad lines, and the congressman cleans up. Please join me in a hearty round of applause for the CEO and President of United Streetcar, Chandra Brown.
Boy, nothing like being inserted last minute in this high-powered lineup. I just want to say, I'm going to be really brief. When I stand here in front of you, what I want you to do is think welders, fitters, electricians, project managers, engineers, the over 100+ people that we are employing that are so proud. Their sweat, their tears, their late nights have been in building these cars, and we are so grateful for Portland for taking the risk, for the federal government, for the state, everyone who has supported us. I like to say it takes a village to build a streetcar, but you know what? It really takes the arms and the strength and the muscles of the men and women that build these infrastructure projects for you. So I'm here representing them, and from the bottom of our heart, from everyone at Oregon Iron Works, United Streetcar, our hundreds of subcontractors and vendors all over the United States, thank you. We really appreciate it, and we're going to build you the best streetcars you've ever seen.
If you are now or have ever been a member of the Portland Streetcar Board, please raise your hand. Give them a round of applause, folks. If you don't know, this project has private money in it. A local improvement district, which is a tax on properties along the alignment, helped pay for this. And they did it with enthusiasm and gusto. And part of the reason we're able to build these things, the trackage and everything, is they're right there to make sure that we do it well. So the chair of the board, please, he also has a little bookstore downtown.
Oh.
Hope one day you can expand it. Where is he? Oh. Please join me in thanking the entire Portland Streetcar Board, but especially its wonderful chair, Michael Powell.
What a nice day. And the streetcar goes over the Broadway Bridge, turns, and goes down 11th, and you can stop along the way and shop. End of commercial. To my fellow board members, it's been a wonderful experience for me, and I know I speak for the rest of the board. The board is a nexus that brings together the private and public sector for monthly conversations about the operation and future growth of the streetcar, and it's a very dedicated group. I want to do and it's got a new leader, Dick Cooley. Dick's here today. Where are you, Dick? I know, there he is in the back. I've had the good fortune of following in the steps of some really amazing guys, John Carroll, Don Magnuson, as chairman of this organization, and we're proud of a lot of things. And Don always used to sit down at every board meeting and say, let the minutes show that we talked about safety. 11 years of operation, not one injury. It's a wonderful record. I want to just single out a couple of folks that don't necessarily always hit the limelight, and just mention in passing what a complex and Portland-driven process. It's slow, it's clunky, it's sometimes maddening. 7 years in gestation to get this East Side project done, but it's done in a particularly Portland manner, which finally brings all the people in consensus to the table and gets the project done. And when other cities come here and visit and say, how do you do it? And we explain it, and it's a little tough to explain. And then they go away shaking their heads like, you know, that's at Portland. They're just sort of weird over there. But I want to mention, TriMet, Neil was just here. You can never do anything in transportation here without the support of TriMet, and TriMet has been with us from day one. And back when no one knew what a streetcar would look like, Tom Walsh, who was then director of the TriMet, said, you know, well, what this city could use is another variety of transportation, and that's been a terrific inspiration. Portland, you know, we have a weak mayor system, but Sam has proved you don't have to be a weak person to operate in that system. You can have a strong mayor in a weak mayor system. And I really want to single out somebody that is, you know, gives the word city service servant the best possible spin. Vicki Dede, who's worked with the streetcar for 15 years, made sure we stay out of trouble, takes care of the city's business. Vicki, you're terrific. Shields Oblitz Johnson is a private sector public policy agency that has been the operator of the streetcar, but more importantly, it's just been the inspiration and the genius behind the growth and really the beginnings of the streetcar. Roger Shields Rick Gustafson. But within that organization, there's a fellow here today who oversees the construction and the building of the cars. Carter McNichol. Carter, where are you? I know you're here. There you are. You know, it takes people like Carter who can just day in and day out see that the work gets done. We got it done on time. We got it done under budget. The first made in America car is sitting over there on the tracks. Carter had a huge role in all of that. Stacy Whitbeck, our engineering firm, I never miss an opportunity not to say a shout out to them. They build these things on time, under budget, safely, and out of neighbors, they make friends for the streetcar. And then you just heard from our friend at Oregon Iron Works. She's the most cheerful lady I think I've ever known. And she's a great advocate for Portland. And well, the only thing she missed in her talk was that sitting on that track over there, I hope we can see it in a moment, or when we leave here, is the first made in America streetcar in over 60 years, and 90% made in USA content. You know, they've gotten a little heat for being about 2 months behind schedule. What they don't fail to mention, the Czechs who have been building streetcars for over 100 years and supplied our early cars were generally about 8 months behind. So, you know, I think they've done damn well for building a whole new system in America. And finally, all of our friends over on the east side, I'm looking at Hank and all the others who worked for the last 7 years to realize this. It takes a private partnership with the public sector in order to realize this. The private sector has contributed over $40 million to the streetcar from local improvement districts, 20% of our overall budget for local funds. This project, they've contributed $15.5 million. There is along the alignment right now under construction, they're permitting $1 billion worth of development, and that was before Zidell announced their plans for the South Waterfront, which has got to be in the billions. Dynamic and exciting and wonderful to see what's happening. In 2 years, hopefully we'll be back here, or maybe on the other edge and end of the bridge, and we'll complete the loop. And then we will have done something truly remarkable for Portland, for the United States, and for the future of public transportation. You know, this is a remarkable city, and it is an amazing thing that we can accomplish what we do here and be a hallmark for the rest of the country and an inspiration. But really the inspiration are some of the people that I've singled out and the hundreds of others who made this happen and make this day possible. It's just great to be part of this city. Thank you very much.
And I want you to meet and have him say just a few words on time, on budget. Stacy Whitbeck, if you're next time you're contemplating building your own streetcar system, I endorse Stacy Whitbeck. John Boyer, CEO and President.
Thank you, Sam. Yeah, I like Chandra, wasn't quite ready or prepared to speak this morning, and I've never been up on a stage like this or never had the opportunity to say thanks for the work and thanks to the patience while we built it on your street. But we're very fortunate to be involved. It's a great community. We work in lots of different places across the United States, and by far anybody that we employ who works in this area never wants to leave. And we keep a large talent pool here. There are several hundred people involved in this job on the construction side, between the truckers, concrete work plant, you know, the craftsmen, the journeymen, all the engineers and project managers that go into it. It takes much, much more than just myself up here on the stage saying thank you. But we try to do the right thing, building quality work and on time and on budget. But this was a challenging job. Going over the Broadway Bridge, going down into the Pearl, coming over across the Union Pacific Railroad here. Doing all that work and doing it safely is number one. And it was a great job. We had a great safety performance and a great record. And we just want to say thanks to the opportunity. And have a great day. It's a great thing. Our area office is right over here, so it's if you need a place to park next to the Heritage Museum, don't tell anybody but there's a little parking lot. You're more than welcome to park there, and have a great day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. They're a funder. They're key to the enthusiasm and inspiration. They're a great partner. with the city and the feds. They are the state of state transportation. Get it? Oregon Transportation Commission Chair Pat Egan.
Well, as the 7th or 10th speaker, I'm not sure, I lost track, I'm the guy that gets to note everything's been said, but not everybody has said it.
That's right.
What I'm going to talk about today is partnership and place. And the partnership aspect, as Sam referenced, is the Oregon Department of Transportation has had a piece of this in being able to fund the streetcars themselves. So I get to as well tip a cap among the many in line to do that to Chandra and to United Streetcar, the over 100 employees that are Oregon residents now and contributing to our economy, and all of their suppliers who are part of this partnership as well. It's a remarkable thing, and we're very proud to have our little piece of it. And so thank you for all of the partners that supported us in doing that. And at our table as well, of course, are the folks at the City of Portland, the Lloyd TMA. I personally am very much looking forward to, was it the food desert? Is that what you said, Tom? I guess, creating hopefully an oasis within the food desert. I think maybe that's the analogy there. I think 5 of us up here actually have offices within walking distance of this new line, and that's a very exciting thing. I personally, on my day job, work with Pacific Power. We have 1,500 employees at the Lloyd Center, and so for the Blazers, for folks like Pacific Power, the Lloyd Center itself, we're very much looking forward to being connected to the rest of the city, to Portland State, and to the many partners on the other side as well. As for place, I guess I would just quickly reference, as a representative of the Lloyd Executive Partnership and the supporter of the Convention Center Hotel, we're looking forward to all of the development. Despite what newspapers and others might say, this is an exciting development. This will be a critical part of our future development. Hats off to all of the folks who have had the vision, Hank and Michael and company, to make this happen, and it's a great day. We're very proud to be a part of it from the Oregon Department of Transportation. Thank you.
City didn't have an economic development strategy for 16 years. The next speaker helped us put one together with this city council, pass it, and start acting on it. We have created, well, he'll talk about our efforts to create jobs. We doubled our exports in the last 10 years. Our goal is to double them again in the next 5 years. United Streetcar is part of that. So are the smart investments in businesses up and down this line. Please join me in welcoming the great leader of the Portland Development Commission, Patrick Quinton.
Thank you, Mayor Adams, and good morning, everybody. It's great to see everybody out here on a beautiful Saturday morning. And first, on behalf of the board and the staff of the Portland Development Commission, I want to congratulate all the folks responsible for making this happen, including the board and staff of Portland Streetcar, our friends, Tom Miller and his team at the Bureau of Transportation for all their work. We've worked with them for many years on this project. Chandra and her team at United Streetcar, our friends in Washington, our federal delegation, Mayor Adams, of course, and the City Council, but lots of folks to thank and congratulate. The opening of this streetcar line, coupled with the new MAX line that Neil mentioned that will soon cross the river here, demonstrate our ongoing commitment to unmatched quality of life with equitable transportation options for all residents. But this focus on transit and quality of life isn't just so that we can look cool in movies and TV shows. Part? Oh, sure it is. That's part of it. I think it helps. But, you know, my job at the Portland Development Commission, we worry about how we grow the economy, and these far-sighted investments in quality of life have created for us what we believe is an unmatched competitive advantage in attracting, growing, retaining businesses, as well as the talent that make those businesses successful. So I just want to take a second and talk about our investment in this project. It's one of the largest investments that we've ever made in a transit project. Nearly $30 million coming from 3 different urban renewal areas, including the River District, the Convention Center, as well as the East Side. That, coupled with the $10 million that will be going into the new MAX line, the Orange line, $40 million to help make this loop possible. This is a significant contribution from us at any point in time, but this happened during during one of the worst periods in our nation's history in terms of our local economy, as well as declining local resources. So it truly was a commitment on our part to this. But we made these investments because we knew that by building out this line and by building out this loop, it would pay dividends in terms of business and job growth and attract significant investment. And I'm pleased to announce that this investment is already beginning to pay dividends. We can see over $400 million in new private investments in properties just on the east side alone. That's truly what we mean by catalytic projects, and that will just continue to happen. And these projects are both small and large. Since 2009, we've given out over $1 million in storefront and development opportunity grants. These are grants that property owners and businesses can take from us to plan future projects. So our $1 million leads to further private investment. We're also anticipating some significant projects in the Lloyd District. We're anticipating a new 700-unit mixed-use housing and commercial project. As President Hughes mentioned, we look forward to a new convention center hotel that'll be on the streetcar line. The PDC is working with Bean Development on the Convention Center Plaza building, which will be a hub for software and digital companies. And even the recent announcement of and grand opening of Stumptown Coffee's new headquarters on the east side is an example of how the streetcar can generate new business and new investment. And we believe that, like I said, this is just the beginning of investment on the east side. So I think we are all excited to see how the future unfolds for the east side and for this line. And we certainly are very proud to have been a part of it. And I just want to close on a personal note. My wife's relatives from the Netherlands actually are visiting us, and they're here right in the crowd, right in the middle there, waving there. So it is great to be able to have folks from the Netherlands who can, so that we can show off our transportation options, because this is obviously, when you go around the world, everyone goes to the Netherlands to find out how you do it right, and now they're here watching how we're trying to do it right as well. So I'm so happy they could be here, and thank you.
Mr. and Mrs. Schroeder from
Mrs. Schroeder and her daughter.
Mrs. Schroeder and your daughter. Welcome to civilization. We hope you'll catch up with us one day. Really. Pick it up. I want to take a momentary pause to also thank some of the other folks in the audience that have been key. We have Representative Mary Nolan that from the state level helped us get the funding for this. Thank you very much. Very tough job. Mayor Jack Hoffman from the city of Lake Oswego has been a tireless advocate of streetcar in general. This line there, Mayor Hoffman, thank you. And my team, Catherine Charlo and, can I borrow this? Catherine Charlo, not that one. Catherine Charlo and Katja Dillman and my transportation team in the mayor's office. We have to deal with this kind of garbage every day and keep people's enthusiasm up for what is in the best interest of the city. So thank you to the mayor's transportation team. The best urban university in the United States is Portland State University, and the best president we've ever had is Wim Wiebel. Wim.
Ik wil beginnen met even de Nederlanders welkom te heten. Dank u wel.
Now you're just showing off.
We're so proud to be a partner in this entire project. Portland State is the #1 mass transit destination in the state of Oregon. We have over 35,000 students, faculty, and staff, and 40% of them use public transit every day to come to campus. And the streetcar, of course, is a big part of that. That's why we have been a partner from the beginning in both the streetcar and light rail, making financial contributions to make sure it could happen. The streetcar embodies our commitment to sustainability and the quality of life. It helped us develop great hubs at the urban center and now connects us to the south waterfront and the new collaborative life sciences building. And we will continue this support. We have just signed a 3-year agreement with the Streetcar to provide, in exchange for our financial contribution, free rides on the Streetcar for all of our students, faculty, and staff. So we'll be using this line. And I want to just wrap up also on a personal note. I grew up in Amsterdam, and even though I've been gone for 35 years, I can still, in my mind, see the routes of the about 20 or 25 streetcar lines. Try that, Sam. 20 or 25 streetcar lines that we have in Amsterdam, because as you know, when you build a streetcar line, they stay there for a very long time. In fact, they started building them in the 1880s and 1890s, and they're still here. So to all of those who read that article about the streetcar of desire, whatever, you know, we're not building for today. We're not building just for tomorrow or next year. We're building for the next century. Thank you all very much.
You can, one of the great things that you can do on the streetcar, the new streetcar line, is come to OMSI, and I'm a frequent visitor to the OmniMax. There's nothing like a screen that is like 27 stories tall and like 3 miles wide. It's like you're actually there in the Hubble Space Station. OMSI President Nancy Stuber, been on the board for a long time, worked very hard on this, and thank you for that work, and also thank you for such a great OMSI. President Nancy Stuber.
Thank you. You know, it's so much fun to be able to welcome you and have this celebration happen right here on OMSI's front plaza. 1 million people come here on a typical year, and now they have a new and convenient and environmentally responsible way to get here and to enjoy not only OMSI, but what's happening in this whole OMSI district. And you know, extending the line this far south in the district seems obvious now, but it wasn't always a given. I really credit the vision and the leadership of Portland Streetcar, the city, the Central East Side, who advocated so strongly to make sure that Streetcar would come this far south and be prepared to close the loop when the bridge is completed. This area, some of you who talked about the food desert, we invite you on down. There are great restaurants popping up here in this area. In fact, OMSI's opening a new restaurant this fall, so come on down for some lunch. And this is really becoming a landmark destination for the community. So we have not only those retail businesses and restaurants here, but the PCC Climb Center, the Portland Spirit, the Opera headquarters, the Willamette Jet Boats, and now our newest neighbor, the Oregon Rail Heritage Center, and I hope you'll all go there today and join them on their opening celebration. As many folks have said, this is an integral part of the transit system that is linking all of us on the east side, but also around the city, and really being the catalyst for this future innovation quadrant. But as a science and technology center, we are really excited about the opportunity to explain some of the engineering and technology behind the streetcar. And we're really pleased that as we are preparing young people to think about the skills they need for jobs in the future, that we have United Streetcar and Oregon Iron Works and Stacy Whitbeck and places that are just ready to offer jobs and to use those careers. So we are promoting the streetcar to OMSI's 23,000 member households. We're also giving them passes for an inaugural ride. There's a lot going on here in this district. We hope that you will ride the streetcar and come down this fall. We're opening 3 new exhibits, one on sustainable choices that will feature transportation choices, one on the science of race, and grossology, the impolite science of the human body. So come on down, see the exhibits, see the films, and thank you for being here today.
All right, we're halfway through our speakers list. We told you it was free, but not really. No, our last speaker has just been an absolute pleasure to work with on the Portland City Council. He's Parks Commissioner among his other duties, and as Parks Commissioner, he owns a railroad on our behalf. And today you have the opportunity, and Portlanders and Oregonians and Washingtonians have the opportunity to see the great new facility that he has led the development of. Please join me in a hearty welcome and thank you to Commissioner Nick Fish.
Good morning. It's a great honor to be the cleanup hitter at this wonderful gathering. Do I hear a noise in the distance?
Yeah!
Is that the SP 4449? Let's give that lady a round of applause. Wow. So my job is to extend an invitation and a thank you. But let's start with the thank you. Sam Adams has thanked every dignitary on this stage and everybody in the audience that made this day possible. By my count, that means there's one person left to thank. Would you join me in thanking our local champion for Streetcar, Mayor Sam Adams? Today we celebrate Portland's future. At noon, we get a chance to celebrate Portland's past. We will cut the ribbon on the new home for our 3 historic steam locomotives. As many of you know, they lost their home a couple years ago. And a group of intrepid rail enthusiasts led by the Oregon Rail Heritage Foundation stepped up. They raised $5 million and they built a new home. Now, many of them are streetcar supporters, but not all. Would you raise your hand if you are here and you are part of that great movement for the Oregon Rail Heritage Foundation? Bill Failing, Mike Lindbergh, all of the heroes. Please join us at noon. There's a plaque on the side of the SP 4449. It says, "Loaned by the people of Portland, Oregon, to the people of the United States of America, 1976. And of course, that refers to the very proud day when the SP 4449 led the Freedom Train in our bicentennial year across the country. And today, thanks to ORF, the donors, the board, and the volunteers, they in turn have a wonderful gift back to the people of Portland, a new home for our 3 steam locomotives, and I hope you'll join me at noon. Thank you.
All right, after today, after we finish completing the loop for the streetcar, it's on to places like Lake Oswego, up Foster, out MLK. This is the first of many concentric circles and spokes in what will be the grand renaissance of Portland's streetcar system. Join me and some great music as we cut the ribbon, I believe, over there. Thank you all very much for being here.